Welcome. We're going to take a look at another problem involving ratio and proportion, and this time we're going to go to the park. Here we go. The ratio of the number of bikers to the number of runners at a nearby park is 2 to 1. I'm just going to underline that we're dealing with bikers and runners at 2 to 1. The ratio of the number of runners to skaters is 3 to 5. Wait a second, didn't we already deal with those runners? That's interesting. We have two questions. A, find the ratio of the number of bikers to the runners to skaters. Oh, they want us to do this with all three. That should be interesting. And then question B says, if there are 25 skaters, how many bikers are at the park? Well, we're going to worry about that later. I'm just going to underline that we need to remember about the 25 quantity. But let's work on that part A. Find the ratio of the number of bikers to runners to skaters. Okay, well, if we go back and start to model this, we know, using B for bikers, that the ratio of bikers to runners we circled in red was 2 to 1. So I'm going to make a unit bar for bikers, and I'm going to divide it into two parts. You know what, I think I made that a little bit too small, so let me get out my eraser, and I'm just going to create this one more time. And there's a method behind my madness, but let me just represent those bikers with a unit bar that's just slightly longer, but two parts. That gives me a little bit more room to create the model for my runners. And remember, the ratio was originally 2 to 1, so my runner should get 1 unit. And, you know, it's no secret that I'm pretty familiar with these. And when I looked at the second part, that part where it said the ratio of the number of runners to skaters is 3 to 5, I thought, how does a unit bar that's right now 1 unit become 3 units? And you know what? It doesn't. The runners are the same no matter whether they're compared to bikers or skaters. Their ratios get reduced differently. And so what I need to do is I need to actually take the amount that I already have, the unit that I have, and split it into enough parts so I can compare it to the skaters. And so I'm going to take that 1 unit bar that worked with the relationship between runners and bikers, and I'm going to split it into 3 so I can model the relationship with the skaters. So here are my skaters, and remember the ratio between runners and skaters is 3 to 5. So for my skaters, I'm going to draw a longer bar than the runners, making sure that the first 3 units match up, and then I have 5. I do know that I am right when I want to make sure that the skaters are less than the bikers, since I know that 5 units isn't twice as many as 3, and the bikers definitely should be 2 times the number of runners out there. All right, so I think we've got our ratio, except here's the funny thing. Do you notice how we've got big unit bars here and then little tiny ones here? That doesn't work when we're making ratios. We're not comparing apples to apples. We're comparing different size units. So we actually have to go back and we have to look at that biker unit bar, and we have to make it work with the and really make it in proportion to the size of the bars for the runners and skaters. And remember how we broke up that runner unit bar into 3 parts? We're going to do the same thing with the bikers. We're going to break up the biker unit bar, the first half, into 3 parts. The first 1 unit, and the second unit into 3 parts. So now, actually, let me just trace over this all in red. Now we have 1 long bar, the first 3, and then the second 3, so we have 6 total units. And now all of our units are roughly the same size. They are meant to represent the same quantity. And we've got our ratio, 6 units for the bikers, 3 for the runners, and 5 for the skaters. And so we're going to enter our ratio in as 6 to 3 to 5, making sure that we write the correct numbers in order that they're listed in the question. All right, let's go I think we're ready to do part B. It says if there are 25 skaters, how many bikers are at the park? Well, that shouldn't be too hard. We have done this kind of thing before. Let's make sure we label our model with everything that we know. We know that there are 25 skaters, and what we want to know is how many bikers are there. So we're also going to label what we want to find out, the unknown, with a question mark. Well, I think this is going to be pretty straightforward from here. If I know that 5 units of skaters, 5 units here, are equal to 25 actual skaters, then if I divide both sides by 5, or think about breaking it down into 1 unit must be 5 actual skaters. And since 1 unit is equal to 5, and my modified ratio bar for the bikers has 6 of the same size unit, then I'm going to take 6 times 5 to get 30. That seems like the right number for my bikers. And in fact, if I do a quick double check back, that certainly makes sense. So there you have it. 30 bikers at the park.